We've done Tomb.
Yeah, we did some sea life.
We did some fish and sea life. And now we very briefly touched upon it last week, but we had so much to talk about with the characters. But of Take Me Back to Eden. But this week we are looking into the EPs 1 and 2 and the imagery with them, and there is so much in them. And I know we really vaguely touched on them last week, but oh my god, there is so much. It's really involved and it's really interesting. And I think it blows my mind because there's a lot of religious elements to it almost, and
which I think for something like Sleep Token makes a huge amount of sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm completely naive to everything religious, really. But so when I was looking through, I was like, that's fucking fascinating, right? So I think maybe it's just more my naivety that has made me really fascinated in it. But nonetheless, I think there's still a lot there to unpick. So in everybody's favourite fashion, we do have a presentation. So we'll get on to that in good time. But just to begin with, as a heads up, you asked and we have delivered, and we finally have our YouTube channel up and running.
We do.
Which is very exciting. So, Zoe's worked her magic.
I might disappear for a second, but I will... Actually, do you know what? No, I can do it on my phone. But I'll just put it in the chat. That's all.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Nice. But we do have our YouTube page, and we've got one video up at the minute.
2 videos up. A third will be coming up tomorrow.
There you go. So go and have a look at our YouTube channel if you've missed out on any of the past streams that we've done. Everything will come up on there. And when I say everything, I mean some of the ones we did not record, but it's fine. We will kind of touch on them anyway in future chats, I'm sure. But there's the link in the chat. So if you want to have a look at our YouTube, go and have a look, have a peek, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, whatever they call it. Sound like proper influencers. Mini influencers, tiny.
I believe the phrase is micro influencer. Which I wear as a badge of pride.
Yeah, micro sleep influencer. Can go with that.
Sleep influencer.
But yeah, sleep influencer. Love that. But yeah, there is so much to unpack. So we have got the 1 and 2 EPs. We have got our YouTube channel. Go and have a look.
I was just going to say, just to stress on the 1 and 2, we aren't going through the lyrics of the songs per se. We have done a couple in previous different streams. This is more kind of like the iconography and how it looks. But yes, YouTube.
And then we've got, as requested last week and by popular vote, we will be looking into Shelter this week for the analysis of the lyrics.
Prepare to cry, everybody.
It's I love that song. It's beautiful. So we've got that, and we will obviously be looking at the beautiful art of worship.
We will.
As we go through that, as we always do.
Hi, Bella.
And then hello.
That's so
and then
cute.
we've got, I know, I love a wavy hand. And then we've got a few more things to kind of touch on in this stream.
How
are you doing? The first thing we should touch on is it's been a big week. Happy birthday, Emergence. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
I cannot actually believe it's been a year. That is insane.
I know.
How has it been a year?
Witchcraft and magic.
And we watched our blood moon. Nothing happened. Emergence anniversary came. We got another fucking Obtain. I'm sorry, guys. What is going on? Why are we getting another Obtain?
We got an Obtain reminder.
Right. It was a reminder. Okay, it's still an Obtain. We said no more Obtains, Sleep Token.
I
we need ticket
think
music.
They are purposefully trolling us and just, hey, Rosie. It'll just be dropped, shadow dropped on a random Tuesday.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But We'll see, but what an incredible song. I've listened to Emergence so many times this week in honor, and like it always takes me back to that very first moment that I heard it, and I remember being like so stoked because for me, I think it was the same for you, was like the first drop I'd been involved in the fan base for, really. So it was awesome to like just be a witness to all of that and the chaos of the magic of the puzzles. Let's face it, they're amazing, right? So it's just great.
I used to just a little story time when it came out, because it got released at midday. I was in the office at work and I was like, you were sat in your kitchen, eyes closed, nice. I was sat in the office, there weren't very many people in there, but I was chatting to a colleague and I just turned to him and I was like, it's 12, I need to go. I will be back between 5 and 7 minutes. And he was like, what? And I'm like, my favourite band just dropped a new song. And I guesstimated that's the time. And then I like sat, listened like you, a little bit like eyes closed, just being like, oh my God. And then he was like, that was between 5 and 7 minutes. I was like, 6:36.
Amazing.
Great. But then I used to just listen to it on repeat, like going out to get lunch at work. Or just if I wanted to walk, like I just needed to clear my head, I'd listen to Emergence like 3 times. Nice little break.
Yeah. Love it. I literally, because, well, I'm blessed to be working from home. Oh, no worries, no more little angels. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Have a lovely
evening. And you can watch us on YouTube on the catch up and on Twitch, obviously. But yeah, like I was blessed to be working from home that day and purposely made sure I was, and remember listening to it. And I was just like, right, everything's shut down. This is what, and I'd put in a lunch break purposefully.
Hi, Violet.
Hello.
We're sharing like Emergence memories.
Yeah.
And please do in the chat
everybody
as well.
else's? Yeah, what's everybody else's Emergence memories? Because it's the birthday of it. It's just gone.
I also obviously remember being who I am. Being who I am. I remember that. Oh, a streak! That's so cool.
Hey.
Woo. Yeah, being who I am. I remember like all of the stuff around. Like there was basically like 2 camps. There was the camp of like, oh, the drums sound really weird. And then there was the camp of like, guys, it's fine. Just like, it's just 2 being 2. Just let it happen.
Yeah. Love that. Violet says, I was in a meeting when it came out. I ran straight to the garden at work after. Yeah, that's like a similar thing to you, right? Like, you were like, I'm leaving. Yeah.
Oh, no, I stayed in my seat. I just turned my back on my colleague. I was like...
Oh! I love that. You're like, right, just ignore me if you want me. Like, I just need this time.
Basically.
I remember like having it on, and I was like, instantly like, I need to listen to that like 100 more times. Like it came out as my top song of 2025, didn't it? With like Take Me Back to Eden 1 listen behind, which I think speaks volumes because of how long Take Me Back to Eden was out in the year before that point. And then I was just like Emergence like the entire time. I fucking love that song. I think it's an so absolute masterpiece.
It's so good.
But yeah, I can't believe it's been a year. It's crazy since the first like puzzle was kind of revealed and Dragon Be Gone and all of that for, you know, the people on that stream. Bean only started listening to Sleep Token like a lot of us a few days after EIA because someone mentioned Euclid in math class. Nice. Oh, amazing. Like, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's so cool. And Euclid, what a song. The one that always makes Zoe cry.
Yeah, so I listened to it very sparingly.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's an incredible song. Incredible
it's brilliant.
Song. Yeah,
I've just Pavloved myself into crying every time I hear it.
Wild. Oh, there is something that I know we were going to touch on in this stream because Zoe found this really interesting Reddit thread.
Did I?
Oh. Bella Rebel goes first. There was a beautiful side quest obtained from the Talented
There was a very beautiful side quest obtained from Rosie from Dark Side Designs, at which will appear at some point in the background of mine.
From both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have you know, we've obviously partaken.
Yeah, partook.
We partook in that beautiful obtain. Yeah. Right? The marks and books. Love that. Um,
Oh, that's really cool, Violet.
oh, nice.
Yay!
Tattoos. Yeah, we're all into that. Hey, Rosie sorted the orders now. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to have one of the prints. I'm very excited for that to come through. It's beautiful, Rosie. Like, stunning artwork. And actually, that kind of leads us on to our other thing. Right? I'll flip this on its head. I know I was going to mention something else, but
Okay.
Creators Corner.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, we have awesome creators in this community, as we all know, and we frequently talk about them. And we will be getting some lovely guests to come on our channel over the coming months. In the creators community, which will be super, super exciting. We're thrilled to be able to get these guys on and have a good chat with them. And it'll just be good fun as well, just to talk everything Sleep Token with more people.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for who we'll be getting on over the coming weeks. But we want to know from you a little bit of a kidnap them. Maybe not. Force them to talk. We'll try our best. We're
Taking over the world
slowly
is
trying
our
to do
plan.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. World domination is the ultimate goal.
Honestly, why I didn't and also as a side note, not about creators, but why I didn't launch myself onto the stage at the drum show and just be like, "2, you're coming with me."
Yeah, I'm taking you now. We're stealing.
I can absolutely run with that man. Over my back.
You don't need to talk on our stream. Just sit there. Can you
Hey,
imagine?
I've got you a practice pad and some sticks just in the corner.
Incredible. Amazing.
Oh no, I moved it to the other room. Oh no, it's over there. Yeah.
That'd be fascinating. Okay. Just sit here and look pretty, okay?
Yeah.
Look at the screen with the tassels on the mask and everything. You know what I mean?
Little beard. Anyway.
Yeah. Creators Corner.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, we want to hear from you guys. I mean, we do know of a lot of creators, but there's loads out there, and we want to know who you think we should be giving a bit of a platform to on our socials and on this stream. So
you're right. Nobody puts 2 in the corner.
No, nobody does put 2
behind me. I've got a chair there. I'll clear it, and he can sit there.
Just sit there, like how Vessel apparently did at that the listening party.
Listening party, yeah.
For Take Me Back to Eden, I think it was, wasn't it? It was one of them.
It was,
yeah, that'd be incredible. But who do you think creator-wise needs a bit of a shout out, bit of love on our channel? And we'll give them a voice, and we'll either try and get them onto the stream to have a chat with us. We will look at their artwork.
Sorry, my faff.
I think Zoe's takeaway has finally arrived. But yeah, who do you think we could get onto here, and who we can put some links to on their page or whatever? You can either drop it in the chat for us, send us a message on one of our platforms. We have TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, and now YouTube. And yeah, Bella Rebel Rose and Bean, we are slowly taking over the world. Or trying to, very slowly. But still, so we would love to hear who you think. So let us know. And we'd love to talk to some more people and look at some artwork. Like, we've obviously looked at the Art of Worship. We've looked at prints. I've shown you my Rick Murta museum that I've got building up on the side. And we love all the artwork that comes through. So, yeah, let us know.
Yeah, Rosie, the pronto is here after.
Yeah. Finally,
for those that weren't here, I've had a faff and a half with just trying to treat myself to a takeaway, and it's just not happened. Anyway, right, I will go and sort my food out.
Okay.
Cool. But I can set up the presentation.
Yeah.
And obviously, please, chat while I'm away. But yeah, on the Creators Corner, I consider myself quite I watch a lot of Instagram stuff, content, consume a lot of content. That's what I'm trying to say. However,
yeah,
we don't know what we don't know, and love the content that everybody puts out, and just, we'd love to know what you like as well.
Yeah, we just want to see more people and more artwork, and the ones we have seen are absolutely incredible, right? Like, we have some fabulous artists in the community, and we will soon have a tangible art of worship in our hands.
We will.
April. So once we've got that, I mean, we refer to it every week, but it will be great to talk to some of the people who were involved in the art of worship. And then we will have the Teeth of God, like an actual tangible version of that as well. Which
I need to follow Sue Marion up on that one, because so far I have not had. Anyway,
don't worry, mine is literally just label made, like nothing's moved.
I know, but I haven't had anything beyond that. But I mean, well, yeah. Well, anyway. Oh, and also, what we will have as well, what I will have shortly, is a chunky crocheted vessel.
Oh yeah. If people didn't hear, there was a competition done by Bumbo Crochet, right? And Nat. And
oh my god, we should try and get Chad. That would be amazing.
Oh my god, I love that. That'd be great.
Yes, I won. I won my very own Chonksel. I know. I'm so excited. I was gonna anyway. So there will be a reveal at some point. Maybe
which will be so exciting.
Maybe I won't be sat here. Maybe just Chonksel will be sat here.
Switch the camera on and I'll get my squishy one. Yeah. If you can get Chonksel, we'll just have them there. That'd be great.
Anywho, right. I am going to that's not the screen that I particularly wanted. This is the screen I wanted. I am going to present in full screen. And I'm going to go get some food. So apologies, Rach, you're going to have to just talk.
The floor. I can do that. It's one of my specialities.
While you introduce this, I will hopefully only be a very short amount of time. I'll take my phone with me.
Okie doke.
Right.
Great. Cool. Yeah, we will stay on the holding screen. Go, 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 go. So, everyone watching. Oh, Dark Science Designs, you've got a watch streak reached. Well done, Rosie. How exciting. But for the eagle-eyed people who were with us last stream, you would probably recognize this deck, and we really briefly flashed through it. But we agreed that, I mean, we've given a lot of time to EIA, we've given a lot of time to Take Me Back to Eden, and obviously we've reviewed Tomb as well, and all those fish. But we haven't really looked at the EPs, and I think all of us can probably agree that they're not given enough like gravitas really in the whole discography of Sleep Token. So we thought we'd look at 1 and 2 EPs, and actually when you look into it, on the surface of them, it's like, oh yeah, there's some historical references and there's buildings, and they seem to sit apart a lot from all the other albums that they've released. So like the other albums, you can kind of delve more into the lore, I think. So you can be like, there's the weaponry, there's the flowers, there's all these different masks and stuff, but we're taking it right back to the very first songs they ever released, which are incredible, right? And don't worry, Violet, we will be here. If you jump back on later, we will probably still be here. And yeah, feel free to watch it on YouTube or Twitch for our catch-ups. Rosie, I agree, they are absolute peak, right, the EPs, but we have got some stunning songs, right? So you've obviously got Thread the Needle, which has made a reappearance for the last tour, which was incredible to hear live. We've got When the Bow Breaks, which is probably like my fave, I think, from that EP. You've got Fields of Elation, again, stunning song. And if we think back to these being their first ever releases, that's wild, right? And then obviously we go on to Nazareth, Jericho, and Calcutta, which are, I think we can all agree that those are very specifically segmented songs. And it's really interesting looking into why they're done in such a way, because I think we can tell that Take Me Back to Eden and EIA are kind of very related when you look at them. Sundowning and Tomb, I think there's some relation to all of the last albums. Hello, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm just saying it's really interesting because like 1 and 2 EPs seem to like really stand alone. So like, yeah, obviously with one we've got Fields of Elation, When the Bow Breaks, Thread the Needle. Although and the imagery is quite it's like
I'll get to it, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It's very kind of like on the surface it gives you everything. If you're willing to look into it hard enough. Do you know what I mean? But the later albums are all very mysterious. Wise, like they're more cryptic, I think. Whereas these ones, there probably is something cryptic behind it. But you can look at them and go, oh, right, I get why they've done that because of this, right? Whereas like newer albums leaves it more to speculation, I feel.
And I don't disagree with that. And I think part of that could be explained, you know, purely by the fact that they self-produced and self-released one. And then for 2, they were signed to like a very small like kind of production for that. Yeah. And then when they got signed for Sundowning, obviously you get a bit more resource.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is like, it's fascinating. And like, you look at this imagery, right, for one, which is on the screen now, and you can see which song the images relate to. Do you know what I mean? We've got Thread the Needle. Very obviously, you've got the needles. The Fields of Elation, I'd put that as like the, what do you call it? The dandelion seeds. Like, I think of like a field, think of flowers and stuff. When the bow breaks, I'd go with the wood effect. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think of twigs, whatever. And yeah, there's so much when you actually look into this. And yeah, exactly. And I was really surprised of how much detail there is behind these images when I looked at them, because it seems so telling.
Sorry, I'll just move over there. What I would say, in addition to that, I like a couple of things. I think, firstly, I think it's a little bit more straightforward with its symbolism than other albums, I think, because it's the first one.
Yeah.
But I think it is fascinating that, like, even their first EP, like, there's a genus there of, you know, of it going on to be, like, very based in lore and mythology, and like there being a reason for everything or being a symbol for everything. Secondly, I also had for Fields of Elation, I thought those are apple, like obviously the dandelions, but I also thought the apple blossom, because the apple blossom, as we discussed on another Let's Talk About Sleep Presents, is in the Even in Arcadia crest. And
yeah, that's true.
And I, in terms of like Fields of Elation, now this is entirely me completely misremembering something, but I just thought it was interesting because maybe it could be someone else's like misinterpretation or thought process, but I immediately thought of like one part of the Greek afterlife, which in my head I was like, that's Fields of Elation. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the Fields of Elysian, or like the Elysian Fields. But I likened that together in my head, and like obviously Arcadia is also a part of a kind of Greek afterlife, Greek mythological afterlife. I just thought that was really interesting that maybe those are linked
somehow. Yeah. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they are, right? But yeah, like these songs, they definitely sound more raw to me. Obviously, they're like newer recordings, and the new ones are more polished and everything. The very, 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 I know we've said this before when we look at lyrics, but very few lyrics in these songs. Like there's barely any, and they're very repetitive, almost like chanty.
Like Thread the Needle, especially for such a long song,
right?
But fascinating that that's back on the set list.
Yeah, I know. And like why? And I think there are a few links to it potentially of why. Probably more lyrically that we can dive into in like another stream. But yeah, on the surface of it, the imagery speaks for itself, I think. And there's not loads to go into. Potentially the link that you've mentioned. But ultimately, it is what it is with one. Beautiful as well. Great EP. And what a beginning to Sleep Token.
Yeah.
On to 2. This is where shit gets wild, right? I think there's just loads of detail to it. Like, and when you look at them all, initially you think like, wow, this really is standalone. Like, when you look at like EIA, Take Me Back to Eden, Sundowning, etc. But you can definitely, when you delve into it, you can see the links. But when like when you look at this imagery, you're like, what? Like, like for the beginning of Sleep Token, I don't know, it just looks really different to like what they've got from like the Take Me Back to Eden era and EIA, and everything's more sparkly and this is really like historically religious reference.
Yeah, but this made like utter sense to me, and I don't know whether that is because, I mean, not that I bang on about it all the time, I absolutely do, but like for those that don't know, my background or like my academic background is history, but specifically kind of like religious history, and so and like kind of iconography and stuff like that. And so for me, knowing that like the 3 songs on the 2 EP are Jericho, Calcutta, and Nazareth, not in that order, apologies, butchered that, it would make complete sense to me to have architecture. Like it doesn't not make sense, is my point.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, I feel like all the other albums link a lot more. I don't know.
Well,
like, and this is just so.
Could you argue that this is also a cycle, like a little cycle before the main cycle?
And there's a lot that we'll get into with this, but like this is the imagery of 2. And to me, I look at that and it doesn't scream Sleep Token, but
I mean,
as we go along,
we've always known it is Sleep Token. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Please do tell me when I should go on to the next slide.
Now, please. As you've just taken a mouthful of food, I'm sorry. Here we go. So there is like a piece of art, basically, that this whole design for that front cover was taken from, called the Princely Summer Residence. I'm not even going to try and say it in the language it was in. It will be with German. Just an accent. But yeah, props. But yeah, you've got, as you can see, like when you look at this imagery, you can definitely pull out the bits that they've taken from it, right? And the next slide as well, there's kind of different sections of this artwork.
I love the blueprint, like so cool.
It's awesome, isn't it? Yep. You've got like the dome, and you've got like that stained glass window on the right hand side, which you've taken from. There's those arches down the bottom, and on the very left there's like that kind of cathedral looking spire tower. So if you keep clicking through though, there is the kind of next bit of it almost. So yeah, again, those arches in the middle, it kind of reminds me of like, is it the Golden Gate in Berlin or something?
Brandenburg.
That's it. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Reminds me of that. But yeah, next slides kind of break down the particular bits, and you'll be able to see like exactly where they've got it from. So like these are used in Calcutta and Nazareth, but you can see like that stained glass window, the arches. Yeah, like there's very obvious references, right, in the imagery. The next one is again like the dome buildings, and you've got most of the different components used across all 3 singles are made up from, it's Otto Schmaltz, I want to say. Let's go with that. And the bottom one's Nazareth and Jericho is used in that, which is interesting that there's a bleed over it as well in these particular bits of the imagery. And the next one, there is the kind of turret castle bit. So there's this is an elevation of the side of Chateau de, oh my god, I'm not even going to try and say that.
Pierrefonds.
Pierrefonds, thank you. You do it in such a more finessed way than I would.
I mean, I'm probably still wrong, so don't come for me the French.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it. But yeah, you can see the likeness, right? So, that's clearly where they've got it from. And then we spoke a bit, I think it was, oh yeah, there's the roof of Nazareth's main section of that artwork, the top half of the pulpit in the All Saints Church in Wittenberg.
That's so cool.
I know, isn't it? It looks so pretty, and the detail on this is very ornate. Love it.
Spent a lot of time at churches.
Yeah. But yeah, I know I've done a lot of singing in them, like choral societies and stuff like that. That is why. But yeah, so as we spoke about last week, there are a few other references. So the Sri Kalyana, that really long word, temple located in that really long named place in India. I'm even going to attempt it. I will butcher it. That is on the left, and you can see that in the artwork for sure. The middle section is Cambridge, and actually the person who did the artwork for Sleep Token for this imagery was from Cambridge University, so I guess they've taken some inspiration there. And then on the right hand side is very clearly the illustration of the elevation of a Hindu temple, created in 1831. So there's definitely different blueprints they've pulled through for this imagery. So as we get into them, it gets just more and more fascinating. One of the things on the temple is there was an art foundation who commissioned the temple. It's dedicated to Vishnu. And it was basically to revitalize regional cultural traditions, and serving as a religious center. And this is like one of the things that ties all of this together.
Yeah.
But interestingly, it's a venue for music and dance and performances. And a destination for thousands of worshippers. Just gonna like really highlight that bit. And all of these places are places of worship, or places where people would go for rituals of worship. So they feature on the artwork as such. So that one's in India. And then you can see, as we discussed previously, the imagery is split up for Calcutta, Nazareth, and Jericho. But yeah, all major places of worship, ritual sites. And on that top bit of artwork, you can see, like if we zoom in, which we do on the next slide, it kind of goes into like the languages. So we've got Hindi, Arabic, and Hebrew.
Apparently, it's actually Bengali.
Oh, is it?
Calcutta, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Which is where Calcutta is.
Oh yeah, well that makes sense, right? So, but it's relating to the religions of these places as well. Like this is like these songs like heavily referencing the religions. So next slide, I think we go into the first song, I want to say, Calcutta. And with Calcutta, you know what? There isn't a huge amount to look into with this one, really. But yeah, that's the temple that we discussed before that they've referenced. And Calcutta used to be the name for the capital of India when it was under British rule. It has since been renamed as Kolkata, so it's got the different spelling, and is known as the City of Joy. It's got Hinduism as a religion. Very interesting. The festival of, I think it's Holi, is referenced in the video, and it's basically like some people try and replicate it on like fun runs and stuff like that in the UK, but you've got like that dry powdery paint which you kind of go out into the streets and chuck at people, and everybody's all colourful and it's really like joyful and everything, and that's referenced in the video for this as well, which I think exactly, and that's super interesting that they've got the reference in the video, and you know, bursting colours in the lyrics, but the meaning of Calcutta is fields of Kali, or a place of the goddess, which I think is interesting.
We've mentioned Kali a few times on this stream in different presentations,
haven't we? Just with like all the different representations of the multi-limbed characters and
a multi-limbed kind of goddess. I think also the any kind of representation of death, because that does fit.
And Carly represents time, death, violence, sexuality, feminine empowerment, and motherly love. A whole range of things, which actually, all of which we have covered across all the later albums. So as much as I said, there's not really much link between this one really and all the other ones, actually when you start looking into it, you're like, oh, okay, then maybe there is some this. And I think there is, like the bursting colours when you laugh, and there's so many things that could draw it back. Calcutta is a freaking awesome song as well. And I know we've done a deep dive. We have done a deep dive into the video, didn't we? When Rosie came on.
Or did we do Nazareth?
I think we've done both.
Yeah.
Because Calcutta is your favourite, right, Rosie? So I think that's why we chose that one.
It's a perfect EP. I just want to put it out there.
I think they all are.
Oh,
both are.
But if you go back to one is a fabulous EP, but like you said, it's it feels a little bit rougher, as it of course it would be. Why would it not?
Absolutely.
But you can just really see, you can hear what they're about right from the beginning. And I love that.
This goes wild. Nazareth, this is where it was rabbit hole.
Can I interject just before you go down the rabbit hole? Because the rabbit hole is really fascinating, right? But
go for it.
When you were putting this together and you were like, oh, I'm going down a religious rabbit hole. And me, I am not religious unless it comes to Sleep Token.
But you know about it.
But I went to a Catholic all-girls school. I grew up in, the doing the nativities at school. I love Christmas. And the only thing that jumped into my head, and this is if anybody in the chat has watched Nativity, the film, because there is a song.
Oh, yeah.
And all I had in my head was the things are really cool in Nazareth. And that's all I had in my head for the entire day.
I love that input.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Back to you.
Love that. Oh, thanks. Well, amazing. Well, Nazareth. Okay, deep dive. I went into this pretty much blank. I was saying to Zoe, yes, I spent the first part of my life in the UK and obviously now my adult life, but a good lot of my teenage years were in the Middle East. So this is fascinating for me because we weren't taught much about religious studies or anything like that. So deep diving into this for me was awesome. But you can see the very clear imagery in the middle. There's a very prominent lyric in Nazareth with "I'll see you when the wrath comes" as well.
Yep. That's how I remember which one they are, because as much as I love them, I get confused. But Nazareth,
that opening line, and actually there's a lot of these where the opening line links so much to the places, right? So there's Nazareth, point of worship. Obviously, it's a point of worship for Christianity, though. And Nazareth means the branch. So if you look into that in terms of lyrically, it could there's so many references to branches and stuff. And when the bough breaks, obviously you've got the tangled up branches in a flood. Take me back to Eden and chokehold links potentially. But it can also mean the watchtower, which I think would link to other songs as well, right? What's really interesting as well, I kept asking my Spotify to play through these older songs, and I was listening to the lyrics as I was going through this deep dive kind of thing, and it always kept going to Infinite Baths or Look to Windward, and I was like, that's really interesting. It's I don't know why, but I'd love to know if that happens for anybody else. But maybe I'm just looking into it too much.
I think that might just be what you've been listening to a lot.
Probably.
I was listening to these earlier, and do you know what my YouTube music gave to me afterwards?
Let me guess. 2? Yeah.
Okay. Right, it gave me the drum playthrough of Alkaline.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
don't think
fair.
there is a link
Amazing.
there. I think it's just me. I think
Yeah,
I'm the link.
you're the link, yeah.
For the
But
record,
in the
not
New
mad about it at
Testament,
all.
oh no, fine, like all too great. But in the New Testament, Nazareth is associated with Jesus as his like, childhood home, basically. In the synagogue, he preached the sermon that led to his rejection. Um, and I was like, is this a link to like Vessel's like beginning of his story? Do you know what I mean? Because like, is
Wouldn't
it
it be the
almost like,
inverse though?
well, we've said a lot about the industry being really difficult and being really challenging and kind of being like quite shunned in it to begin with. And I wonder if it's like a story very early doors of being like all this rejection that you have to go through to kind of power through to prove yourself. I don't know. What does everyone think in the chat? Let us know. But obviously there's a lot of like face value stuff in these, but if you deep dive into it, there's a lot of different interpretations. But what is very interesting from this one is the Take Me Back to Eden potential link with this is, you've got the sink porcelain stains choking up brain matter and makeup. It may be the aftermath of Nazareth, where they talk about let's load the gun, make her eat tape in the bathroom mirror, see if she can guess what Holland does to a naked body, potentially. Because it's like when you think of the bathroom mirror and there'd be a sink below and then the sink is stained with blood. But yeah, interesting, that one. So there's a few different takes on it. It's like, are we talking about from a very religious point of view, or a few people have thought like rejection by someone in a relationship.
Yeah.
And is it like that kind of I'll prove to you then? Like, it's that because it's quite a violent song, isn't it, really, in the lyrics? And it's like, all right, I'll prove my worth, and it turns nasty. But yeah, so the first reference to Nazareth is in the New Testament, and the contempt in which this then, like, it was a very small village, like whatever, and it was referenced as like, can anything good come out of Nazareth? So it's like, oh, it was kind of like I don't know, a place nobody really gave a shit about. I don't know. I love this. Bear with me in the religious stuff. I made it. But from there, Jesus went to perform his first miracle, and that was related to the shunning incident. And it was changing the water to wine. So that's interesting as well. So again, it's like a proving yourself kind of point, and that link. In many churches, oh yeah, there are many churches there. This is my note taking. There's many churches there which are like a historical point of like tourist kind of interest. And of these, the Roman Catholic Church is best known, and if in it is the grotto of the Annunciation. Would this be a link to you pulled me from the grotto and Infinite Baths?
Okay. I mean maybe. I'm not gonna poo-poo it because we don't know.
My sparkle, I'm into this.
No. I just think that it's more of a, I think it's probably more, to me, it's more likely that like grotto isn't it's not a really weird word. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you look across all of the lyrics that Vassal writes, like, clearly loves a thesaurus. Also, and this was something that I saw on a Reddit thread earlier, it was basically like, somebody said, like, I love getting to see his hyperfixations. Like, the really big deep dives, and that's the kind of so I do think that sometimes, like maybe you get a bit overexcited about like researching a topic, which you have done admirably displayed today. No, like, it's amazing. Well. Yeah. And like, so I think sometimes that can just kind of spill over, and it just becomes a part of your, your lexicon. So you just use it.
Yeah.
But equally, they are very, very, or at least nowadays, they are very specific with what they do. So yeah, it
Yeah.
could be. Um, but I think, yeah, I like the idea that he just went down a whole like rabbit hole of religion,
Mm.
and I like it. Oh yeah, I do think that Vessel has done his homework with multiple religious/spiritual ideas and themes, says Bella, and I agree.
Yeah, I think so. And like, yeah, it's kind of like, did he get really into the religious, spiritual side of this and then like attached it to law almost? I don't know.
Yeah.
But like
If I
the
didn't know any
last bit on
better, I
here,
would say that he was the one who had my university library books checked out when I needed them.
yeah,
I don't think that has happened, but like,
yeah,
God damn it.
he's like, these are mine now. I need these to write this song.
Like, but I need them to write an essay.
Yeah, but like basically when Jesus was rejected in that synagogue, it escalated really quickly. All they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath, is one of the quotes.
Yeah.
And their anger was so intense that they attempted to kill him, dragged him to the edge of a cliff. So there's that violence link anyway in the religious reference. For Nazareth. In this dramatic shift from admiration to violence shows that the issue wasn't like a lack of evidence, it was more in the they didn't want to believe the truth or they were resisting it. I like this quote that I nicked from someone, but when Jesus confronted their hearts, they rejected him rather than repent. And like, is that something in a Vessel story? Is that like I don't know, there's got to be something there. Hello, Lisa.
Like,
deep diving into
and now this is
1 and 2.
This is no shade on anybody because I firmly believe what you want to believe, and that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
It just growing up as an atheist in the Roman Catholic Church, like it just sounds like some bullshit they'd say. But it's not,
like
it's not bad. Like
agnostic, right? Like I get it.
Having said all that, though, I fucking love religious history, and I just think it's fascinating. So, like, Jesus is a person rather than the, quote unquote character in the Bible. Although I think there's some really interesting parallels there with like Vessel as the person versus the character. Anyway, just gonna say, Bean says, especially in EIA, but maybe I'm just biased because I yapped about Gethsemane to someone who doesn't like Sleep Token. It's fair. Actually, that was a thought I just had. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Vessel was just really into Jesus Christ Superstar and thought he'd write some music about the topic.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, there's Gethsemane, there's Infinite Baths on EIA, which is very religious reference.
Does it?
Is there any others?
What's
I think there's something. We'll have to look into that, but I think it's something like.
I mean, there's some Titans, sort of, but that's kind of Greek
cleansing reference or something.
Like, yeah, if you're like being washed over, I guess it's akin to a baptism, but
yeah, I think it is. That's the kind of potential link.
I don't think it's quite as stark as Gethsemane.
No, and I guess somebody's but although Nazareth's really dark, I wonder if there's like a link between those two. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's like it's fascinating, this one, because like people are like, it could be like literally murdering someone, or is it emotionally killing someone, or is it that religious reference where you're like, the emotionally killing someone is like, I think I've put it on another slide actually, so I'll shut up until we get to that point.
Okay.
Maybe I did. I think I did. I've certainly read into it.
You know what? We'll get to it. Lisa says on off topic, I saw Sam working for president. Me too, Lisa. So
hey.
Not only is Sam working for president, Tom, the front of house sound engineer, is also working for president. Samuel, who is their monitor engineer, is working for president, and I'm pretty sure Billy, who's the guitar tech or the bass tech, is working for president.
Yeah, Billy's working for them.
When Gemma and I went to see them in Barcelona, I had my glasses run over, so I was finding it very challenging to keep track of where Sam was, and then he walked right behind Gemma, and I like just stared at him, and then we watched them pack down for a bit.
This is why you need me with you guys. I'm like, hello.
I mean, yeah, mate, I couldn't even fucking see. I was just like, ah, Sam.
I'm blind.
It was like, yeah, like
President looked like
surprise,
a blur,
Sam.
basically.
Yeah. Thank God that venue was tiny, otherwise I'd have been done.
Right? You'd be like, oh.
Yeah, no.
When I see them at Leeds.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hi.
It was great though. Very good.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Hope you had a good time, Lisa.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time. And actually, for anybody, whether you are North America based or Europe based, there is a free live stream for the Bad Omens tour, which President are on Tuesday.
Yeah, there is. Super cool.
Yeah. Bean says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Infinite Bath was kind of based off the quantum physics model of an infinite bath. I think I saw a thread online, like a basic idea of absorbing infinite energy without changing. Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, I've seen that one. We need to deep dive into Infinite Baths and probably look to Windward because, cycles and all.
Yes, we do.
This, with Nazareth, this was like my top favourite theory. I'm putting it as top theory because it's just my favourite, right?
Ooh, Lisa.
Yay, Lisa. 10 stream. Banging. Love that.
Oh, and I think also, okay, I'm going to be real honest. I don't understand how channel points work, but I think there are now channel points. I assume that you can...
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think you can, highlight things. I'll look it up, and I'll let you know. Trying to decipher... ST has taken me down some rabbit holes that I'm really not fond of, such as dental stuff and spiders. Oh my god, me too, Bella. My own working little theory is that me and Vessel both are arachnophobic, and he's trying exposure therapy through the medium of alkaline.
Amazing.
Okay.
I've looked at the thingies, and you can do highlight a message. I mean, we see you messages anyway. Don't worry about it, guys. Choose an emote to modify. Go for it, and modify a single emote. Fun, and unlock a random sub emote. Oh, fun! That one could be quite cool.
And yes, Bean. When we do rule the world, we will force people to listen to all of our theories.
We will. There you go. I've unlocked my woo.
As a complete aside, oh, there you are. But as a complete aside, my one of my very good friends, Sarah, who she has tried, bless her heart. She listened to the entirety of Even in Arcadia. She really likes the title track, and she likes one of the lines in Dangerous, but it's not for her, and that's fine. But she did the other day. She was like, "Oh, I listened to the stream," and I was like, "Why?" I mean, thank you.
Really cute.
It's really cute. She was like, "I don't understand it at all, but you look like you're having a nice time."
Yes, Bean, we can force people. I love that.
Yeah. Anyway,
and here, this is my top theory, right? And it's just Rachel's top theory. I should have highlighted that on this, but with the "I'll see you when the wrath comes," keeping that in mind. I've already touched on this, but is this song setting up the lore of Vessel and sleep? Let me delve into it. So there's, in the Bible, Mary was approached by Gabriel. If nobody knows this, I scarcely knew it. I mean, I did a bit. But she was told she'd mother Jesus, something which seemed impossible, but she basically, surrendered to God's will. And Joseph took her as his wife to protect her from accusations of adultery. And then Christ is born and the prophecy is fulfilled through Christ's suffering, right? But doesn't that sound quite familiar within the story of Vessel? And so there's theories that 1 and 2 each set up the origin for sleep and therefore Vessel. And so sleep comes to Vessel, and Vessel surrenders to the will of this deity, this god. And through doing this, he is promised his fame, but also some suffering and the pain, just as the world was promising salvation through Christ's suffering. So it's is there a potential link there? And I thought, that's pretty cool. But it's a really violent song in its nature. And why? Is it looking at revenge, maybe, from that angle? But there's also another theory that it could be about drug addiction. And the gun is actually, it's the hollow point is actually the eye of a needle. And the biting the tape is like a, what do you call it? Not like a tourniquet, but you know what I mean, like a drug user would,
I mean, yeah,
tie a thingy around the arm. If this doesn't evidence that I am not, I don't know what will. I'm so naive.
Or
with
you're
all
an
this.
incredible actress.
Right. Exactly. No, just stupid, I guess. But yeah, like, is it a link to that? And also, by the way, that is the grotto that I was referring to earlier on the right hand image. Pulled me from that grotto, standing. What is it? Sounded like a supermodel. Model. Love that. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Grotto,
like, do you think we're on to this? What do you think, Zoe?
Firstly, Lisa, imagine Vesey as a choir boy. Yes, I can easily. That's adorable.
I can. Yes.
Oh, I got this sign. It's a whole really interesting thing about choir boys and how they keep their, and like how quite like especially in the UK and like very good boys choirs, how they are under so much pressure to stop their voices from breaking. It's a whole thing. It's really interesting. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
That's to one side. I was just thinking of his falsetto. Anyway, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Chat and Rach. Like, is he promised pain, or is he told that he'll suffer? I thought it was more of a, like, in terms of the, that one printed interview we have where it was like, we do not have a name for this god, we call him Sleep. And he promised, fame and success if I would spread the word. I mean, I think there is elements of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the bit that is, well, and maybe this is an interesting point if we view the two EP like concurrently, and we also like mush the religions together and I mean that in a very polite way.
Yeah, sure.
This is what we were talking about earlier. Like in obviously Christianity, Jesus is the Son of God. In Islam, he's a prophet. I think that's the same for Judaism as well, but I am probably wrong, so don't quote me on that. So, like, there would be, because, like, nowhere does Vessel say he is the son of Sleep. Like, that's not the vibe. But he is, like, we could definitely view him as a prophet of Sleep in terms of, like, the access to the law that we have. All that has been said. So I wonder if there is a little blending of religions, because they do, they do have bases together.
And that would make sense, right? Because these albums these EPs touch on all these different religions anyway. Like Nazareth is the Christianity, but then the other ones, as we'll get to them, Hinduism and Islam.
And Jericho has Jewish overtones.
Judaism,
and as Avenue Q says, Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah. Yes. And
yes, he was visited in a dream by Sleep. So we are told.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's literally like, because like he's promised the fame and success, but then with that it comes pain as well. Like you can't have everything great. I don't know if it was like promised pain in that regard, but it's like, so he was chosen, he did not seek sleep or pray to them. Yeah, that's a point. And like, if we look at the religious reference, was Mary chosen?
Yeah.
I don't know if she prayed.
No.
No. Good. And I was like, I don't know, help me. Promise of glory and magnificence, no pain mentioned, but being human is a given. Something we all share as humans is pain and loss. Yeah, very true.
Well, and that's what Vessel said as well, wasn't it? Like life is dark, life is pain, sort of, or something like that.
Yeah, there's the light with the dark, blah blah blah. But that is Nazareth. I think that's a really cool theory on it. There's loads going round, and there's so much to look into. Jericho is also fascinating. This might be my favorite one, like with the deep dive. That's Jericho in the middle. That's a photo, which is so freaking cool, man. It's like in a cliff face, like so low down. So Jericho had the world's first, arguably, right? I think there was somewhere else in Syria that people battle for it being the first walled city. But yeah, arguably Jericho was the world's first walled city that was located right next to the Atlantic. Interesting. And the Dead Sea, which is so insanely salty that you can't sink into it. And
Nope.
if you look at the first line of Jericho, the song starts with tread ancient water salt. So, it's very in keeping with the place. Jericho is amongst one of the earliest cities documented in human history, basically, even if it's not the first walled city. But people thought with the walls, is it symbolically like being closed off? But like the bird in the cage is safe, it has no room to fly, kind of thing. But yeah, it's got a lot of
links. I've never heard that as a phrase before. I love it.
Well, apparently it's a turn of phrase when I looked
Fair
into it. I was like, okay, cool.
Oh,
Learned
really
by
cool.
literature. Hello.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's amazing. That is sick. There's a lot in the Jericho Rose, which I didn't even know was a fucking thing before this, so this is fascinating. But there's a lot of links to deities and moon worship with Jericho, which I also found fascinating, which is why I was like, this song, does this link onto everything else? And yeah, we're good, thank you. I hope you're good as well, lured by literature.
Now I've had food, I'm so much better.
Yeah, because I was happy now. I know I've had loads of steaks. We went and did like a buffet thing for my mum for Mother's Day. So
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I ate breakfast and that was it before I got home. So.
Oh God, Jesus. Jericho, as we've looked at the meanings of the other names, so Jericho means city of the moon. And it holds many important places of worship for both Islam and Judaism. And there are fragrant, which is really interesting if you're looking at the rose, the Jericho rose. Because
Sorry,
yeah, like a rose
for a
is
while.
fragrant. Oh, that's
weird.
It
might have just been me. Anyway, and apologies, I clicked on something that I didn't mean to. I'll go back to full screen. Ignore me.
We're back. Oh, the text moved.
It's fine. I'm sorry.
There we go. What's going on? It's okay, we're good. But yeah, basically with the fragrant bit, there's a potential link for to the Jericho rose because roses are fragrant. But this is super cool. The city is located about 250 meters below sea level, which is wild. And like as you can see, it's like in a fucking cliff face. But it's at the bottom of the Dead Sea depression, and the extreme place where the oasis of Jericho is. I think I looked and it could get to like 38 degrees C or something, 40 degrees C. I mean,
probably more nowadays.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Global warming. But the air's really heavy and burning on the skin, and it makes breathing really difficult. It just sounds horrendous, right? In this place. It sounds like it's a risk being there, right? But apparently there's like loads of luxurious hotels and things and places to stay. Now it's yeah, why not? No. I don't know. It looks pretty terrifying. But as Lured by Literature has pointed out in the chat, the Jericho rose. So at first glance, the rose appears like a dead plant, and it's in that image which is like bottom right ish. It just kind of looks like weeds, right? It's really weird. Like potpourri. And it's like a massive dry lifeless branches reference again. And with the passage of time and the right amount of water though, it opens up and stretches out, tinged with like a more intense green tinge, which is that bottom left image. And yeah, it depends. The green tinge depends on the temperature of the water, which is kind of cool. And it makes it a universal symbol of resistance and rebirth, so much so that it's been given the name of the resurrection plant. And in the absence of water, the rose closes in on itself, retaining the energy to survive, which could be very interesting for the link to this song. And when the water returns to where its leaves, it's obviously will open up again. I think that takes a few hours for it to do that, but it's quite quick. And yeah, some traditions even use it in rituals aimed at attracting luck and abundance, which I think is interesting as well. And again, very heavily ritual worship kind of religious references there. But what a freaking fascinating place, right? And I love that it's close to the Atlantic. Like maybe there's links to Atlantic with this, and yeah, there's obviously links within the lyrics, right? With the beginning line with the tread ancient water salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa saying that lived in a Death Valley resort, which is below sea level. Co-workers live there to help ease their back pains because there's literally less pressure.
That is
Makes sense.
wild, isn't it? But yeah,
Very
it does
cool.
make sense. Yeah, super cool.
And just watered the Jericho Rose since it dried back out. I think it's time to get another one. Quite amazing. Don't use it for religion, but I do believe in its property to attract abundance. Nice. Well, I have my fingers crossed for you. And it's really cool. Yeah, the kind of protection element. I I do see this, like I do see 2 as its own little cycle, as its own little, maybe not cycle.
This is what I mean.
Cycle is the wrong word, but like its little trio, and like obviously 3 is a number that like has a lot of importance and significance in various different things. Like if you were to think about you think about the triple aspect goddess that we looked at in Take Me Back to Eden, you think about the triple aspect God of Christianity, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Like
yeah.
These are very so I kind of think of that. Yeah, I think of that. Sorry, really here's cool. A bit more of Jericho.
Oh yeah, sorry, there's loads more Jericho. Like it's really in depth, this place. But it's loading for me.
Sorry.
There we go. No, it's fine. But yeah, look, that's a kind of clearer image of it close up. It's what a weird freaking place. I think that's the monastery in Jericho, and I think that's where a lot of the imagery has been taken from in the actual stylized blueprints. But there are those who believe it is more likely that its origin is instead found in the word Yaria or moon, which again is very interesting. And it seems that an ancestral cult of the moon was practiced in these areas. And the god of the moon of the Canaanite religion is called Yarrick, the illuminator of the heavens and of the myriads of stars, and the lord of the sickle and the bringer of the night dew. The latter would be the god's gift to the desert of Jericho, the dew that waters the earth, making plants and orchids bloom. And that, I believe, is a sycamore tree, which is like really revered in Jericho for some reason. On the image on the bottom left. Right?
That one.
Bottom right. It's the only tree on the slide. Like, I don't need to point it out. But yeah, it's really fascinating that there's obviously a link between plants and the moon. And like we've got that in the EIA sequence where and to Take Me Back to Eden, where we're looking at the moon, and then we're looking at a lot more floral and weaponry. But this is obviously very, very heavily like linked to religion and historical sites of worship.
I will say, like, I'm surprised now, just like seeing the further moon links. I'm surprised that there wasn't more like tidal stuff in This Place Will Become Your Tomb.
Yeah.
But there we go. Maybe Vess was like, you know what? I've overdone it with the moon. I'll call it. And then was like, oh, I need to go back to the moon.
No, I need more moon.
And also, yeah, this is very informative. I had minimal. I have a couple of things to offer. Oh, something just beeped, and I can't see. Did something fun happen?
Beeped? Oh well. Jade Harrow is now following. Welcome, Jade. Thank you for following her.
Yeah, I can't see. I can only see this. So I was like, oh, I heard
I can
I
see
heard an alert.
it. Thank you, Lisa.
Um,
Lisa's keeping us in
yay!
check. It's
Thank
all right.
you. Yeah, it is very informative. I am really enjoying hearing more about this. Oh, sorry, I did. Have I gone preemptively to the last slide, or should we have our faces?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like that tree as well, the sycamore tree. Now I remember it. It was something like Zacchaeus. Was a really he had a very short stature and was unable to see Jesus through this crowd. Right, this is the like the religious reference.
Oh, right.
Climbed
Okay.
up the tree,
Yeah.
and it was that tree apparently that he climbed up to see Jesus in his path. And when he reached the spot, Jesus looked up at the tree and addressed him by name and told him to come down because he intended to visit his house.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember
but
this. I had to learn that for GCSE.
but yeah, apparently this dude was a sinner or something. Um, oh, it was like something to do with the production and export of balsam. Um, something like that. He must have been a bit of a, I don't know, he must have fucked around with it. I don't know. Apparently, the crowd was shocked that Jesus, a religious teacher and
Yeah.
prophet,
Would choose a
wanted
sinner
to mingle with this
Yeah.
sinner. Yeah. But yeah, there's so many things that I think you can unpick from this, and especially it's really cool to keep these in mind because when we do look at the lyrics and things, I think this will be
which
particularly of
maybe,
note.
yeah. Although we might have to,
Yeah.
we'll obviously do like a swift through the lyrics.
Yeah.
Right, we are back. Maybe that was exactly how Vessel found two. Just
Right.
in a tree.
And he was like, "There's the reference. What have you sinned in?"
We'll never know.
Maybe. But like again, these lyrics are like there's like no lyrics in Jericho. Like you've got the tread ancient water salt, like I sink down like precious stones. So there must be some sort of link to just Jericho there. Until I wake, I dine on old encounters. Historical references generally. You taste like new flesh. Say my name again. There's really not like many lyrics enough to make the dead switch graves is one of my favorite lyrics in this though.
Is there something more around rather than it be like the specific lyrics for each song, viewing them as a collective, viewing them as a kind of like not as maybe potentially not as a cycle because it doesn't restart, but as that journey. So you have Calcutta with the like that being the kind of first don't worry, live by literature. Firstly, there was a lot of chat because I was waiting for some food. And then secondly, we now have the YouTube story.
Yeah, we do.
The YouTube channel up and running. So all of these will be like back on they will all be put up there. Eventually, we do have a couple up now. And thirdly, it's also available to rewatch on Twitch for 2 weeks after we finish. What was I going to say? Yes, Calcutta. I can't think of the... Do you know what? Yay! Oh, I did put it in the chat earlier. Let me see if I can go back and repin it.
I think it's pinned.
No, it was pinned for like 20 minutes. There we go.
Weird.
Now I've pinned it forever.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Yay. Shall we? Oh. That.
No problem.
Shall we? Yeah, sorry. So I was thinking, like, is there a sort of basically a beginning, middle, and end, or not end, but like beginning, then there's a bit of a fight against, becoming the vessel, and then is there acceptance?
Yeah, potentially. And I think there is something linked with these, which is like Vessel's story or his first beginning or whatever with sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, how fascinating, man. Like I knew
Yeah.
nothing about this stuff. And then when you look into it, like, okay, so that's where the references come from.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, some of the lyrics do link like exactly to the place. And like there's references with it, but you know, like I'll see when the wrath comes with
Yeah.
it is Nazareth. Then you've got the salt water reference with Jericho. Calcutta is all. I'm trying to remember what that reference was.
I'm trying to remember the the links the links. Sorry, the lyrics to Calcutta. But yeah, I think you get kind of the like death, violence, bit of rebirth, the sort of female elements, like the whole Kali um,
Yeah,
reference.
yeah.
I also think there is something around it being. I think there is also something around worship for worship's sake rather than
Mm,
um yeah, worship for worship's sake rather than worship as a particular like a particular method of worship for a particular religion. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So like because even you said it at the beginning, like one of the places like the architecture's like taken the inspiration from,
yeah,
like that has a lot of like a lot of music, dance, and that's all like worship. Like we both said it. Like I've been in so many churches singing choral music because that is a form of worship,
yeah, yeah. It is.
and
But yeah,
sweet
it's like
token is a
secular
form
music.
of worship.
Yeah, and I think there's yeah, like he's just done a lot of good research into religion and worship and rituals, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah. If you're
it,
gonna build your band around it, makes
yeah,
sense.
then it makes sense, right? Yeah. And I wonder if because at this point like was the band going to go in a different direction with the music?
Yeah.
Who knows? We will never know. But I don't know, it just seems to stand out for me with the EPs. But I guess it was them testing the waters as well of everything.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's fascinating, like how when you look, you're like, oh, because they're really awesome songs, and the
Mm.
songs are quite evocative, like all of them are, right? And like they like produce like certain imagery in your head. But yeah, it's just interesting when you look at it and you like, you know, like the missing pieces find me. I know we've gone through Calcutta, but there's like
And
when you look at it, there's
Nazareth.
so many different. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
have, and it's all the different religious references within it, and you're like, oh right, okay, now I know more about the place. That makes so much more sense with the song. The
Yeah.
particular one, I think Jericho is super fascinating for the place, and I think that's just like the coolest kind of place of worship and rituals. But Nazareth, I think there are underpinnings of like violence in that kind
Yeah.
of history there,
Yeah.
and that definitely links to the song and the nature of the violent nature of it, which is more unusual, I guess. But yeah, fascinating.
I mean,
It's really cool looking into all of it.
gonna
Like
say, as
literally was a very
somebody
deep dive.
as somebody like my undergrad dissertation was essentially on like history of religion, like one very specific
Yeah,
element. Like the history of religion is incredibly violent,
yeah,
incredibly violent.
right. It
Um,
really is. Like they were like love thy neighbor and all of that, and they're like, but you know, there was a lot of killing before that
it's also
point.
no, I
Um,
mean, no, I think there was a lot of killing after that point
and
because
after
it's
that
like
point, just all the
actually
time.
you're loving thy neighbor wrong, and I take offense to
Yeah,
that.
not enough loving in the right way.
Lisa, I love that you first expected rituals at live shows. Instead, we get kissing and feral
uh,
behavior, which I consider a ritual.
it's a ritual. Yeah, I go with that.
Like, I'm sorry,
Mm,
just like if somebody doesn't bother Ivy at a ritual, is it a ritual? No.
agreed.
Missing pieces find me reminds me of dementia. Oh, interesting.
And I wonder if
Like
that
that.
is there's got to
Love
be
Thy
links to
Bandmate, yeah,
like
for sure.
yeah, I love that band, mate. I think there's got to be links to, you know, the whole um worship, praying, like seeking solace in something, and the mental health kind of pain aspect of things, because usually it's like I am not religious at all, but like, you know, a lot of people would turn to religion for hope and I don't know, comfort. And is that kind of a link there with, like, you know, there's someone who's got dementia or pain and kind of hoping that there's some sort of like afterlife that's going to be comforting, you know, once that person's left, or, you know, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of references that have come up with the dementia side of
Well,
things
sundowning.
throughout. Sundowning as well, yeah. So there could
Whole
definitely be
a
links there.
whole ass album named after a very, specific uh phenomenon that people with dementia and Alzheimer's do
Yep.
get. Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that, led by literature. I
Yeah.
understand.
It's really
It's
sad.
a really evocative part, and it is really sad.
Like a lot of the Sleep Token songs are, right? And I think you can interpret them in so many different ways. And this is obviously one of them. And it's looking very basically at the imagery side of things. Like there's some links to
Yeah,
in the lyrics, of course, but this is just in the imagery. It's linked to these places.
yeah,
These are places
yeah.
of worship.
And I think I have two thoughts that are not linked, so bear with me.
Go for it. Go
I
for it.
think
Love it.
I think the in terms of the links to dementia and things like that. Oh yeah, Bella, that's a really good point actually. The Won't Be Missing You, the Old Encounters, the yeah, and I mean then tons in Sundowning and stuff as well. But
Yeah.
I do think I mean we talk about it all the time. Of like Sleep Token are what you need them to be, and
Yeah.
I think there is something about like I think there is something quite cathartic in the in like just having a good cry to Sleep Token. I'm just gonna put that out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then my
Yeah.
second point, which is not linked, but is back to the two EP, the I do wonder, like you were just saying, of like, was it going to go in a different direction? I don't think it was necessarily going to go into in a different direction, but if you think about the timing of like Jaws and the way that you were in the singles,
Mm.
like could they have been thinking about putting out a bigger EP but then refined it down to be like actually no, we have three songs that create that are a journey,
Yeah.
and they didn't, and I question which came
Mm.
first, the song or the title,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the song. I could absolutely see the songs existing, them deciding to make a little three, a little trilogy, a little trio for an
Yeah.
EP, and going, we want this to be cohesive.
Yeah. Why do you think we only got two EPs?
Cause I think they got signed, and they
Yeah,
pushed them to do an album.
yeah, that is my kind of thought on it.
Yeah,
Um, and other people are like, "Oh, is there going to be like a no?" I just think it is like you know, it's where their career led them to, really,
I
the
question
fame.
everything though with this band. So
I
like,
know, right?
they
Yeah,
could drop
yeah,
an EP
it could be
tomorrow.
fair. Yeah, oh yeah, and
Everyone's
we'd be
doing
like,
it.
"What the hell?" Yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
Can you imagine if that happened? You know, we're like, "Oh, this album's a bit short. Here's an EP just to add on to EIA."
I
That'd be
absolutely
crazy.
could see that happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Could happen.
Um,
Legit.
and yeah, sorry to hear that, Bella. I
Uh,
Yeah, I understand.
oh,
Um,
and Lisa, that must be rough for your mum. Like, yeah, I
yeah,
used to do care work. It is difficult. Tough.
and
Tough
I
industry.
also agree that we could have had more content. We always need more.
Yes,
Did do
you do.
covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was also, when I was looking at these, and this could be, excuse me, a musical reference, purely that there are some links to very similar songs with Deftones.
Oh yeah.
Um, and there's definitely some. I think it's with Nazareth, but I'd have to look over it properly. But yeah, I've got a feeling there's some sort of musical link there if you're looking at that regard as well.
Well,
we do know everything.
we do know that Deftones are an inspiration for 2 at least.
Yes, yeah, spoken about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. But those are the EPs, and I think it's absolutely fascinating. Like, if there's anything else, like, you guys kind of note of the EPs, drop it in the chat. But there's so much that could be spoken about with these, I think. And I think as we go along, things are going to become more clear. Like, there's definitely going to be more links with everything. Like, I'd love to do this massive org chart thing, and like
you just need to be that meme, like the guy in front of the like
bear with me, like all this wall like coming, but yeah, like you've got the lyrics and how they all link up to different songs and stuff. There must be more links. Like, there's got to be that we haven't realized, or there's got to be links in the imagery or something. And like, even we are now talking about it like, oh yeah, well, we've got that with Hinduism, and then we've spoken about Kali in the EIA sequence and the Take Me Back to Eden sequence, and just how it all comes together. Yeah, how freaking fascinating. And if that Einstein of a man has got all of this in his head when he's like writing all these songs, that is insane.
I do think there's and I don't know whether this is back for like when I used to do a lot of literary criticism, and I hated doing it. Because I just wanted to leave the literature alone.
Yeah,
it's a different matter entirely. But I do wonder if it's a bit of a mixture, you know, like if there's a broad outline, but just like you today, occasionally goes down rabbit holes. He's got the time now to do that at his leisure. And then if all of this just does kind of subconsciously filter in, and then if you're going back over something, like just trying to like finesse lyrics, then you're like, oh, actually that I've subconsciously made a link there. Yeah. And I'm going to build on it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I imagine there is also some points where it's like, I am doing this. Like, I want this very specifically to be linked together. We may never know. We may.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what to say, because yes, it could be a thing. But yeah, it's mind-boggling. And I love how much, like, I don't know, educational material is in their music, if nothing else. Like, it's really cool. Like, they're getting people to look into like runes, and they're getting people to look into like
Greek mythology,
and yeah, the moon, all the cycles and solar eclipses, and you know, all of the stuff with like all
infinite baths in physics.
Yeah, exactly. Like Euclidean
geometry.
Exactly, right? Like, there's all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's super nerdy and very intelligent. But like, you know, I think it's really nice because you listen to a lot of chart music now, and it's very much like the lyrics are very meh. There's not really much to them, and you know, the musicalities, you know, it's got like riffs that keep repeating, and they're very like, you know, like catchy earworm songs. But their music is beautifully put together, and like 100%. Loads of critics said at the beginning, it shouldn't work, this shouldn't have worked, you know, like they've got the complex lyrics, there's like a massive kind of educational shitstorm surrounding everything, like the music is really complex, but like I think that's kind of what people are craving, because we've just been really starved of it. And it's like, you know, I remember like when I was at uni, there was loads of this kind of like, I'm not shitting on any genre of music, but there was a lot of like junk music coming out. And I think now we're in an age of AI music as well, which I've heard some AI songs and I listen to it and I'm like, fuck, that's an awesome song, that's really cool. And you know, it encourages you to be a bit more critical of stuff now. And
because the way you sing it I was gonna say the way you see through to the AI is the amount that gets churned out, rather
Yes,
than it being
quickly.
anything in the song itself. And then when you go, oh, that feels a bit wrong, you can listen back to it and go, oh, okay, I can actually kind of like hear some little things now. But
And you can hear like it produces like certain voices and certain
yeah,
lyrics and
it's
things like that, which
terrifying.
yeah, it is really terrifying because like it is really catchy. And if you listen to it as like a naive listener, you'd be like, oh, sick. Yeah, but then when you're actually critical of it, which I think Sleep Token encourages you to be with music as well, it's like, oh, hang on, this isn't quite right. Or you can hear something which is just a bit off with it. Like I know we found something and we were like, is it? And it was really convincing. Then when we looked into it and the amount that was being churned out so quick, it was like, no, this is definitely AI. Unless they've got some enormous bank. And why would you ever just keep pumping it out in that way? Unless it was a machine. But that's what I think is awesome about them, because it allows you to like, you hear the complexity of the lyrics and you're like, there's no way a fucking machine has written that. Like there's all of this link
Yeah.
embedded in all this history and stuff, and you're like, yeah, okay.
I was
That's real
also
music, it's real
I was
creativity.
also reading when I was in the thread looking at the different languages.
Mm.
Basically, a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, okay, technically the Nazareth one is correct, but it's not like it's not been like done properly, and it's just a really annoying little thing that's wrong." And I just think
Oh.
that's that's another basically because
Yes. Human.
it's human,
Human
yeah,
element.
it's human. So I just going back to a few things, Lisa, what will the next album's set design be? Who knows?
Oh
I
man.
mean, I firmly believe that the next album will be the other half of Even in Arcadia. So it'll be There I Am, or I Am, or
Yeah.
Ego, or something. I think it would be sick if it was Ego, but like everyone pronounced it Ego. Anyway, that's just me being weird. And I
Mm.
think it will basically go like into the next part of the visualizer. So I think we'll be like further into Arcadia. And I think
Yeah.
it'll be like super fucking pink, but it'll probably be the set that they have just like overgrown.
Yeah.
Also, because you don't want to, don't want to waste your money. And Led by Literature, Sleep Token just meets my life vibe. Honestly, same. Everything you mentioned
Yeah.
has already been
Same.
part of my nerdisms. Yes, same. I want to
Yeah.
refresh my knowledge on Greek mythology and deities. Freaking fascinating. We're all just a bunch of nerds nerding out over nerds. It's so true. I
It's
mean,
true. Like mine is more the musical element of it. I
and mine's
think
the.
like
I do nerd out over the musical element. Just
huh?
one. I do nerd out of the musical element as well.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying like the
Yeah,
historical stuff is lost on me, kind of thing. Like you've got that and the weaponry and all of
yeah.
that kind of love for that as well.
And
Mine's just music.
mine comes from my parents as well because, like, the reason I'm called Zoe, which, by the way, means life in Greek, is because
They
my
do.
mum was like obsessed with Greece and Greek mythology.
Oh,
There you
ah,
go.
amazing. Love that.
Oh, AI song, Eyes Closed. This is the thing. They are tunes, but they're
Yes.
just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
right. What if it's Arcadia on
Yeah.
fire? Oh, ooh. I mean,
That'd be
yeah, because
wild.
actually um, because that's what's been so, but that's what's been happening to the House Viridian penance.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
burning.
oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool. You know what? It was really popular in my year at school, so there were a couple of us, and there was one point where there were four. There were like there were four Zoes in the organization I work for across the museum, and we
Yeah.
all worked for each. We all worked together on like varying different projects. So I just got looped into so many things, and like literally, it was the point where people would be like, "Hi, Zoe's," and it was like, "Yeah, cool, it's one of us." You
Zoe's.
might as well just chuck us all in. There's only four.
Love that.
And
That's wild.
yeah, I also
That's
love finding out what
wild.
names mean. It's great.
Yeah. And yeah, with the AI music, yeah, it is sad because some of it is incredible. Like well, not incredible, that's strong. It's a really catchy song.
Do you know
But
what is really interesting? Is it's still kind of like in a weird way, it's still a really positive comment on on actual music, because the only reason that
Mm.
AI music can sound so good is
It's
because
because
it's,
humans have,
well, no, but
like,
also because humans have fed it like
yes.
the stuff we listen to. And
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of the stuff
yeah,
that, I mean, the stuff that the one in particular that Rach and I found,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that had 100% been fed on, like, Bad Omen, Sleep Token,
Yeah,
probably like Don
metal.
Broker or something, and like it on the things
Yeah,
that you like, and it's
yeah.
created something that you like. But it is also mental and kind of terrifying.
Yeah,
Um,
like I think my brother said he played around with AI for a bit just to see like what
yeah,
these
yeah.
systems could do because as a musician you're worried about it and rightly so I think because people don't want to use it. Like I think it's fair enough to maybe use it to like get an idea onto page that you've got. Do you know what I mean? To be like if you hum a melody and you're like, oh, I wonder what that sounds like in guitar, and you can put it in and get it on that instrument or piano or create me a score for a piano or whatever. Like I think that's fair enough. But that initial, like it's like you said, that initial idea has come from somewhere, and you've gone like, oh, in the bridge of this song, I want it to like crescendo to whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to kind of give it a bit of detail, but apparently you can be quite vague with it and just
mm,
like create me a catchy song that is like similar to this band, blah blah blah. Got three verses in a chorus or whatever, and it'll be like boom, some absolute banger, which is wild, right? Although you can be like, you can finesse it, like make it a
Actually,
female vocalist or
now you
whatever.
say that,
Mm.
my friend the other day did say, like, she'd done some AI thing, and it was she was like, I asked the AI to create me a Moldovan Eurovision entry about white wine.
All right.